Lady, you say I stay in the house till 4. We don't even go out no more. It's always the same, man. Always complaining. It's obvious, baby. I guess you don't watch the news. You see, there's a lot to lose. Cause we got a baby. People are shading.
My generation is changing. Aside from the fact that dealers had customers they provide with the crack. Front of the bus is taking the weed denied from the back. You could die where you from or die where you at. Don't put it past them. I don't think that they understood. My friends ain't even sitting in class.
What's going on, everybody? How you doing? I hope you're doing great. I hope you're staying blessed. Everything works out for you. Now you are on my channel. I'm Andre Styles. Do me a favor, subscribe, like, and comment what you hate about everything. I love constructive criticism. I'm not going to take too much here. I'm going to jump right into it after this bite. Yo, quick, just so you know, ramen noodles, if you're still eating that, do me a favor, man. Spend $1 more, get Annie's. It's organic, non-GMO. Can't lose, man. But what I want to talk about today, I want to jump right into it. I got really inspired by this blog I've seen about this boy, this African boy, and he just really inspired me because he made a choice to educate himself and help his community in his village. And I just wanted to talk about it because it's really inspiring. I think we take a lot of things for granted nowadays, and I just wanted to give some inspiration and put a different perspective on things, so maybe it will help for you to make a change or do something different and maybe see a beneficial outcome. So anyways, this guy, this teen, he was a teenager. I think he was about 15 years old. I got the thing pulled up right here. I guess there's also a movie that was made about this blog I'm reading. It's called Gone with the Wind. Wind Boy. Something. I'll put it in the descriptions. So Wimbe Kamkwamba, that's his name, African American boy, August 5th, 1987, in Dowa, Malawi. I don't know where that is. I think it's somewhere in Africa or something like that. So pretty much is what he did is the story. He couldn't afford schooling, right? He has like 6 or 7 brothers and sisters, really low income. They couldn't afford it, and it was about $80 a year. What really inspired me is what he decided to do. He actually borrowed a book. He borrowed a book for one of his friends, and he read the books and he studied it. It had to be about engineering also, something along that lines of that, because is what he did. He actually created a windmill, and it created a power source for them with like I think it was like a water windmill or something like that. The water current would push against the windmill and it would create friction or whatever it is. I don't know how they're actually built myself. I've never made one, but he created a power source, an efficient power source, and all by reading that book and taking the time to study it, because it was beneficial not only to him but to his community and his family. And actually what ended up happening was he created that windmill and that efficient power source, and he actually powered his whole village, and now they're actually building a whole power plant there. So it was super beneficial, and I just think that's really inspirational. Me personally, I read that and I thought that was super cool, so I just kind of wanted to touch on that, like stories or anything that inspired me, like every Monday at the beginning of the week, so you can touch back and listen to these things and just look at life from different angles. You have to put it into this perspective. What are you doing right now? Because that 15-year-old boy was probably studying out of a book he borrowed from somebody to help his family and his community. So it's really difficult for me to understand why we are in the circumstances we are when we literally have Google at our fingertips, Siri at our fingertips, our computers. We can go to a public library. We can study anything we want. You can watch a whole YouTube tutorial on how to probably do a trade. So it's just crazy how we don't take advantage of all these things. And there's people who can't even afford to go to school for years. And I think he even was out of school for like 5 years. And it meant that much to him that he wanted to actually do something with his life or help the situation, whatever, ambitions he had, that he asked to borrow a book and he studied it and he did something about it. That's super inspirational. We all take advantage of the circumstances we have, and I think we should change it. Next time you have any moment of the day when you're not sure exactly what you have to do, even though you think you're busy, ask yourself, what else could you be doing? What do you really want out of life? What do you want to learn? Do it. I suggest you just take advantage of everything that you have. If you live in America, you're beyond blessed. We have a lot of freedom, and it's not just in America, but as I'm in America and I see us and I look at our living circumstances compared to other countries, I just feel like we do have a lot of benefits and a lot of things that we may not be taking advantage of. And we want to blame and criticize and always throw shade other places, when I feel like if we just utilize what we have and just educated ourselves, who knows, like, possibilities are endless. I don't know what you want to do specifically, but I know that you could do it if you really wanted to. And I know that you have everything you need right in front of you. It's probably within reach. It may be more difficult sometimes. You may need a help or an advantage for somebody else who's already done it. But if you really, really want to figure something out, you can take your time and watch a couple of videos or do some research and figure it out. So that just inspired me, and I think that, looking at a 15-year-old, 14-year-old, whatever, who borrowed somebody's book and ended up creating this whole power plant, this system, whatever, to power his village, was super inspirational. And I think you should learn from that. I've learned from it. So that's a little bit of inspiration. That's my story for today. Do me a favor. Please help me out and tell me what you don't like about my content. And I also have my podcast, A and B Forum. That's on podcast. You can go ahead and subscribe to that too. I like reviews, comments. I love constructive criticism. So tell me what you didn't like about my video, what you do like. If you do like the vibe and the energy that I'm trying to bring to you, then hit that subscribe button somewhere around whatever. But other than that, thanks. Till next time.
Robbing on beats, singing, especially if they know where the keys at, especially if they know where their girl live. Get the info, leave it to
Hey yo, one more thing, if you're watching this, I want you to understand, all the lighting, this is just the beginning, right? I want to be able to look back in a couple of years and be like, okay, that's where I started at. And I also want to inspire everybody else to just, I'm putting out content, so I want you to see like the whole building blocks of where I started at too. Every video will be better. Everything will come with time. But I want to show you how you can do the same thing I'm doing and just inspire more people. So, if you're watching this, thank you.